Hi, this is Ed Newbold, and this is the Studio Rundown. Let me turn down this beautiful song by Catherine McClellan. And this is the Studio Rundown. This is the report on what I've been painting the last couple months. And the one I'm working on right now is this refined red tail. And every time I start a bird really big in a painting, I think it's going to be easy, and it's just terribly hard to know exactly what they look like close in. This has been a terribly hard painting, but I've only been working on it a couple years now. And I like this version. I'm going to print this real soon. I'm practically out of finish on that one. That's Red-tailed Hawk. It's part of a series of common raptors that I think would make a nice skinny. And the second one in that is this Cooper's Hawk. Boy, this guy, and it's a he, he's a smaller bird than a female would be. He was just in the creek here, flew out when we opened the door, we didn't see him. He stays here and hunts birds that come to get a bath at the creek. And then he spends his downtime in the creek, and he ruins our bird watching because he'll be happy and full crop and just sitting there with his tail in the water and thinking about life and everything. And during that time, we don't see a single bird. There's no birds around here. But he got a rat, and that's an argument for never putting out rat poison. You secondarily poison the rat's enemies, and you actually help the rats. That's how we're going to get a rat plague, is rat poison. Rat poison will get us more rats. And the rat poison people will make lots of money, and they'll be laughing. But we'll have a ton of rats, because the real critters that control the rats will be poisoned to death. Here is the third one that I have in this series. This is the kestrel, American kestrel. They're still hanging in the western Washington lowlands. We saw a couple within a week or so down the Snoqualmie Valley. I started out this as a southwestern painting on an agave, a flowering agave, but the composition just wasn't going to work. So I'm painting out the agave, and I'm going to put in a scene, a big leaf maple, and a scene from the Snoqualmie Valley, if I can get it without getting too complicated and getting lost in the details of that painting. This is a painting that I shouldn't really put in this studio rundown for November 16th, 17th, 2023, because I really haven't done that much on it, but I have hopes to get this thing finished. It's a harlequin duck, and I want to do a bunch of ducks. That's a classic northwestern coastal duck. You see them on the ocean a lot still, thankfully, and they like the rocky shores, and they make the Northwest look what it looks like. Now here's a painting that people who go to my store a lot will have seen already. This has been around for a while, this print. In fact, since 2016. And we call it Winter Respite. It's Barrow's Golden Eyes in front of some boats in Poulsbo Harbor, or Liberty Bay down over there in Poulsbo on the Kitsap Peninsula. And I have the painting, and my longtime collector Jens Klinner wanted to buy the painting, but he said, first I want you to finish it. And luckily me and Jens think alike, and I thought, that painting's really not done the way I had it for sale. So I've been working on this pretty hard for the last, not that hard, pretty hard, whatever, for the last little while, and I've made a lot of changes. I've changed everything without changing anything, I think, and I still actually have a little bit of work more to do on this boat that I want to essentially be a pretty strong feature there to solve a perspective problem that I thought I had. One other thing about this painting, I did a movie about it. It's on my YouTube channel. A couple of people have watched it, and it it calls the painting Last Tango in Paris. No, Last Tango in Polsbo. And you know, I've always felt a strong need to contrast Polsbo and Paris. It seem like two very different places somehow. But there's the boat, Tango. And that's directly from a ref photo that I took when I started the painting back in 2012 probably, or 2013. And the boat was there, Tango. So this is the last time that boat, whenever that boat's gone, that'll be the last Tango that ever docks here, I'm sure. So regardless of whether Marlon Brando gets there or not. Here is a painting that Jens also wanted, and I haven't found big problems with this. I still want to just put a little more detail in places and work to do a little bit more on it, but I have a right-left problem in some of these, especially in the Polsbo painting. But this one, I did have a little problem like that, but I fixed that, I think. And I just have little technical problems, like the sea gets darker around this tree, things like that. They're not important. And if anyone's been down to the market lately, the Pike Place Market, they've noticed that there's been changes down there. And the new administration, I really kind of like the new administration. I like the administration right now. We're kind of in a golden age down there. And they have taken out a couple of parking spaces and put in a picnic table, put in umbrellas and picnic tables and a little picket fence, lots of flowers, and people can eat out there now in the summer. They don't do this in the winter for some reason, but it changes the whole aesthetic of that area, and it made all of my paintings slightly out of date. So I've decided to kind of do a couple more paintings in the market, which I didn't think I was going to do at my age and after 40 years in business of painting. But this was one, and I also have a vertical. I wasn't sure the vertical worked, but it's young now. It hasn't been painted on for very long, so we'll see how those go. But they're at the store already, and they're selling. So I'm cautiously optimistic on those. Here's a painting I've probably put on Studio Rundown before. That's a cougar. It used to be cougar on railroad tracks back in 1998 when I started it. It was this landscapes from up on the Skagit River, up into the mountains there, and I made it a log. This is going to be supposed to be a beaver dam. Beaver, I didn't know this. A lot of people probably don't know this, but one biologist that was working for the Safe Fish and Wildlife found that the cougars he studied, their #1 prey item was beaver. So I'm sure they like hanging around those beaver dams. But then I thought about putting a beaver dam out there, but I don't know, maybe not. Don't want to crowd the painting too bad. That's almost done. And this one is pretty much already, this is pretty much done. I'm going to put this moose. This is a moose painting. It's already been at the store for years and years. I started in 2001, and I'm just finishing some final things here, bringing some that line, just a few things, and then I'm going to put it have it out for sale at the store. And this is you know, this is pretty much done. So that's, and so is Studio Rundown for November 18th, 2023. My name's Ed Newbold. I'm a wildlife artist at the Pike Place Market. That's Seattle, downtown Seattle. First and Pike. We're at the southwest west corner of the intersection, First and Pike. Go in the arcade, we're right there. And thank you very much. Happy trails.